Hi friends, welcome back to Leonyx Tarot. As you can see, things are a little bit different today because we are just going to do an SOS type message, and the intention is that this will find whoever it needs to find, and yeah, so it's going to be a little bit different from pick a card, and we're just going to kind of get into it, get some tarot and some general messages to see what it is that you need to know right now. And obviously, if it resonates, stick around. If it doesn't, then you can go and check out one of my other videos and we will just see what comes through for you. I've been a little bit dubious about doing a reading like this because I wasn't sure how it would turn out, but I thought we'd give it a try because I was going to record another pick a card reading, but Spirit kept saying no, you need to do just a short message and it will reach who it's supposed to reach. So yes, we're doing that because every time I try to set up to do another one, to do a pick a card, things get going wrong. So this was obviously meant to be right now, and then we will get back to our pick a cards in the next one. So I'm just going to give this one a good shuffle. So, what does the viewer need to know right now, Spirit? What does the viewer need to know? What is it that you want to talk about today? What does the viewer need to know? So we have the King of Cups and Five of Cups in reverse. What does the viewer need to know right now? It's the Emperor in reverse. What does the viewer need to know right now? Please, Spirit, which one? That one. Cups. What does the viewer need to know right now? What does the viewer need to know right now, please, Spirit? Can I get one more, please, Spirit? What does the viewer need to know right now? Back of the deck, we have the Two of Swords in reverse. So I'm just going to move this around a little bit. I tried to take a little bit more off the table so that we had a little bit more space, but I don't know how well that's worked out for us. We'll see. So at the moment, with the cards we've got here, it feels like you're in a space of indecision. You're going through a growth spurt of finding your emotional maturity and emotional balance, but it feels like you're in the transition phase at the moment, and you're still doing the healing work and finding that balance for yourself. So at the moment you're feeling quite emotionally drained, not knowing what actions to take, and just feeling kind of out of balance with your emotions. And you may be feeling like you don't have, not that you don't have, but your connection with Spirit and with your own source energy as well, like that spark of creativity and an essence of who you are. It feels like you may be feeling like you're not quite as connected with that as you normally are, but things are going to be coming into balance, and you may be feeling like there's a lot of decisions and choices in front of you that you don't necessarily know the answer to right now, or don't know don't know what direction to go in, or what's really going to be good for you and what won't be. But there is going to be a more tangible balance coming in with the Two of Pentacles that we've got here. So I'm going to use my little mini deck here, and we're going to get some clarifiers, a little bit more about the situation as well. So you might be feeling kind of like you're stuck up in your head and thinking and overanalyzing the choices and the situation that you found yourself in, and not knowing what direction to take, because I'm feeling kind of spaced out while I'm doing this, like I can't think straight. And up until I sat down to do this, when I started to tap into your energy, that wasn't the space that I was in. So I think that that's your energy coming through that I'm experiencing, and you just feel quite discombobulated and sort of scattered and all over the place, like you don't know your head from your elbow right now, kind of a vibe. And being disconnected from your emotions as well, quite possibly. Sort of like you've disconnected from your body and your emotional experiences, and you've distanced yourself in some way. Because the King of Cups talks about being an island as well. So although it can signify emotional maturity and really knowing what your worth is, there's also an element of disconnect as well. Like you could be disconnecting from those around you and kind of creating your own little island or bubble that's just you. And depending on your situation, it may be that it would be helpful for you if you were to push through that. I know that if we're experiencing depression or anxiety of any sort, then we can have a tendency to kind of cut ourselves off from everyone else and go within. So it might be that you would find it helpful to be around people and kind of push through that, so that you're allowing others to support you. So we're going to, with these, I was going to get clarifiers, but I think it would be more helpful if we were to look at maybe the challenges of this. How could I best do this, Spirit? So we're going to use these for unseen blessings that are going to come in. So that you can kind of see where you're being supported by Spirit and what's coming in to help you with this. So Spirit, what's coming in to help the viewer, please, with this situation? What's coming in to help the viewer with this situation, please, Spirit? What's coming in to help the viewer with this situation, please? What's coming in to help the viewer with this situation, please, Spirit? So we have the Ace of Swords and the Sun and the Empress. So you're going to be kind of jolted out of your current way of thinking. Something's going to come along which will bring you unexpected happiness, or that you will discover. And it could be to do with something that you find that has a sense of play to it and taps into your inner child. Or for some of you, you may find that you end up doing shadow work or inner healing work, something to do with your inner child. But it's going to help you to cut away and cut out all of the things that don't serve you, or cut away the options that aren't going to be best suited for you and your highest good. So things might fall through that you had originally decided on and that you were going to do, and they'll kind of fall away and be taken away because they aren't what's in your best interests. So if you're trying to do something or purchase something, it's making me think of my current situation with finding a new car. And you may find that you've kind of set your heart on something, but then something will happen and it will go wrong. Like the first car that I was going to go and look at, there was a bit of a delay with going to view it, and then when I actually rung up to go and arrange viewing it, it had been discovered that the car was now misfiring and there was a load of things wrong with it. So it prevented me from, because of that delay in actually going to see it, it allowed things to play out so that I could see how it wasn't necessarily the best thing for me. And because if I'd have bought it, then there would have been a load of things go wrong with it after I'd purchased it. And it's the same kind of thing that's going to be happening for you. So the things that don't serve you and that aren't for you are going to fall away, or you may be making conscious decisions to cut away things that aren't a vibrational match to you. And this could even be situations and people, because we end up reflecting and mirroring the energy and mental state of the people that we spend the most time with, the 5 people that we spend the most time with and surround ourselves with. So if we're around people who are negative, or that are kind of, there ends up being drama around them all the time, or something that kind of depletes our energy rather than enhances it, then you could find yourself being drawn to distance yourself from them, or to kind of move away from them in some way. And then with the Empress coming in, there's going to, when you go through this, when you tap into your inner self and that connection that's coming in with your inner child and that sense of play, it's going to allow you to cut things away, free up the energy. And because you're making space by things falling away or being cut away and released, it's then going to allow your abundance to come in, and everything's going to start to play out in a very divinely orchestrated sort of way. And it's important that you take the time to focus on what's going right. It's that attitude of gratitude. So although these are the things coming in that you can't necessarily see right now that's going to be coming about, with the back of the deck energy being the 4 of Cups, that feels more like something that would be helpful to you at the moment. If you can maybe start a gratitude journal, and just kind of generally focus on the things that, even the small things that you are grateful for. It doesn't necessarily mean the things that are going right, but the small things that you're grateful for. So even if it's as simple as your favourite meal, or having a roof over your head, a warm bed to sleep in at night, a hot shower, hot bath, whatever it is, just even those simple little things. And or even being able to spend time out in nature. There's something about being grateful for the small things, because once you can shift and get into that mindset of like the attitude of gratitude, then it's going to it's going to start to shift your mindset and allow things to flow more easily, and just kind of help to rewire, because it also, by practicing gratitude, it also starts to rewire the brain. And from like a neuroscience standpoint, it helps to rewire the brain and the way that we think on a regular basis. So just by starting on just those small little things, if you can't think of anything big, that's fine, just start with the little things and allow it to kind of go from there, because it will start to grow as you start to shift your mindset and how you're seeing things and thinking about things. It's kind of a snowball effect that will then start to bring bigger things that you're grateful for, and it just kind of goes from there and grows. So that could be really helpful for you right now. And we're going to get a few of these just to kind of get advice for you from Spirit on what would help. So, Spirit, what would help the viewer, please? And we have endless opportunities. What would help the viewer, please, Spirit, to navigate this? What would help the viewer? What does the viewer need to know? What does the viewer need to know? New blueprints. I'm going to see if I can get one more. Can I get one more, please, Spirit? What would help the viewer? And we have Sound of the Universe. I'm going to read the one on the back of the deck first, and then we will get to these ones. So, unique gifts. We all have gifts to bring to the world. If we all did what we truly excelled in and enjoyed, our talents and abilities would enable our communities and our planet to thrive. If you haven't connected with your purpose, look at your quirks and what they are telling you. What makes you unique? Look for the positive sides of your oddities and traits. Things you have considered shortcomings might be the qualities that enable your gifts. Are there things you'd like to try or feel pulled to explore? Now is the time to follow these whispers. You never know what they may reveal. So yeah, it's all about following your intuitive nudges and just kind of embracing who you are. And we have endless opportunities. It's wonderful to have the freedom to choose. However, sometimes indecision can be almost suffocating, which I think is where you're at the moment. So get into your body and let your gut feeling guide the way. You have options and opportunities you may not have realized. The universe wants to give you what you want. It's all there, so reach out and wholeheartedly choose it. While you sit on the fence, your experiences are diluted or confusing. We live in a time of choices. Sometimes reason and limitation direct our choices, and we feel unfulfilled as a result. Choose life from a place of heart, compassion and integrity, and you can't go wrong. I love that. It basically kind of feels like it sums up what we've been going over for your reading already. And we also have new blueprints. Powerful, meaningful change starts with you today. Despite our desire for change, we can be overwhelmed by all that is going on, and making a positive impact can seem impossible. We have more of a voice than we realize. This card inspires action, no matter how small, that will create a ripple of light in the world. You're a part of a bigger picture, a greater story, and your actions, your choices, your presence are making a difference. You have more power than you realize. Focus on what you can do and do it well. Change takes time, so make plans and start now. It feels like you're really being called to not only drop into your body, but also to connect with your authentic self. And as the bottom of the deck card spoke about, tapping into your unique gifts and what makes you you, and using those as your strength rather than beating yourself up for it and feeling like that takes away from what you can give to the world and what you can achieve. and lean into those instead. Because also, if you're feeling disconnected and like you don't have your soul family and soul tribe around you right now, then by dropping into who you are as a being on an authentic level, and really embracing those things that make you unique and your quirks, it's going to allow your soul family to find you and your soul tribe to be called in and find you, because they may not be able to find you if you're not being your authentic self and really showing up as who you are at a core level. So by stepping into that, you're going to allow them to come in. And then we also have the Sound of the Universe. This card signifies those pivotal moments that transcend belief, remind us of a greater reality, and influence us so that life will never be the same again. It symbolises the sound of the universe. Having your world shaken up even a little can invite a closer glimpse of the great mystery of life. There are, I think it's pronounced, myriad ways to peek behind the veil of the mundane. Ecstatic dance, spiritual exploration, I can't speak today, and creative pursuits are just a few. Aim to imbue this awesomeness in your everyday existence so you can avoid the sudden wake-up calls. Listen for the hidden music, harmony and wonder of your multi-dimensional world. So yeah, it's kind of a reminder that you aren't as alone as you think you are. Because although we come here to have an individual physical experience of the 3D here on Earth, we're still connected on an energetic level, not just with the universe and source and our higher self, but also with everyone else that's here, every other living being that's on the planet. From humans to animals to plants to the planet itself, we're all connected on an energetic, like quantum physics kind of level. Everything is interconnected, and although we can kind of get stuck in thinking that we're separate from everything else, we aren't. We're so connected with everything around us on an energetic level, whether it be from how we keep our homes, because our homes have an energy and resonance of their own as well. So even the energy of the space that you take up in your home, that has a connected and reflection of who we are as well. So the way that we decorate our space, to how we position things, where we put things, and the memories that we build in those places as well, they all make an energetic link with us and our being on an energetic level. And it's the same with the people that we interact with, and there's a bond. There's different levels, but there's an energetic exchange and bond that can kind of grow there, regardless of whether it be with a person, animal, plant, or just an object, an inanimate object, because everything vibrates at a different frequency, and it all feeds into each other. So, and I've noticed that I keep bringing up things like neuroscience and quantum physics, so it may be something that you find interesting, and it may help you if you were to pick up a book about it and really kind of look into it. Now that I say that, there's a book that comes to mind, and I'm going to grab it for you, so give me 1 second so that I can show it to you, because I've only just started reading it, but it talks about all of these sorts of things. You may also find Dr. Joe Dispenza really interesting if you're into those sorts of things, for the books that he does, and there's also interviews and things that you can find on YouTube as well. But let me just grab that book for you. And we're back. So this is the book that I was talking about. Open Your Mind, The Source, Change Your Life. It's by Dr. Tara Swartz, and it kind of marries together our use of law of attraction and quantum physics and neuroscience. It brings it all together. She doesn't talk too much about quantum physics, but the underlying premise is there, and it's all to do with gratitude and rewiring our brain so that we can manifest more easily and just kind of tap into that energy, and being able to switch up our mindset so that we can bring more abundance into our lives. But this may also help you feel more connected and like you're part of something bigger than just being a physical body, and being disconnected from source and the energy of your soul family and soul tribe. As you can see, I haven't got very far into it. I haven't finished reading it yet, but it's been really interesting and really good, and I found myself kind of going back because I've noticed that I've not necessarily taken in the information the first time round, and I'm kind of rereading the paragraphs. But if you can kind of treat it as maybe mindfulness would be good for you as well. That might be helpful. Seems as I don't know why I'm telling you this about me reading the book, but I have noticed that it's making me be more mindful about how quickly I'm reading and to not rush through things. So if you're finding that you're rushing through your day, through life, and not really being present in the moment, then if you can find something that helps bring you back, like I've been with reading that book, then it will help you to kind of be more present. And by being more present and mindful, it also helps you to be more in tune with your intuitive nudges and things like that as well. So yeah, I think that's all I have for you, viewer. But make sure that you embrace your uniqueness and being you. There's nothing to be ashamed about, or don't listen to other people if you're being judged for it, because they just aren't your people, and they will just drift away anyway. So, and it will allow space for your soul family and soul tribe to come in. But I hope that this has been helpful for you, and let me know if you've watched this all the way through and this resonated for you. Let me know what you think about the format and whether you'd like to see these occasionally. I know that I normally do pick a card readings, but it allows me to do a longer reading by doing these occasionally as well, because I'm kind of time limited. But yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if it resonates, and please feel free to like, comment or subscribe if you feel like doing so if you're new to the channel, and you'll be notified of when my next video goes up. And I hope that you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I hope that you will come back and see me again soon. Bye.